Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we will be working on a beginner-friendly painting in the style of circle composition. As you can see, I have marked my focal point slightly off from the center. I'm going to be using white and a variety of blues from light to dark, and you can use whatever you have on hand, just so you're going to get a variation of the blue. All right, I'm going to mist the canvas just slightly with water, just to help the paint blend a little bit easier. I'm going to start with the white around my focal point. Let's see. And then we're just going to kind of start blending light to dark around that focal point. I'm going to take a dry mop brush and I'm just going to kind of swirl around, just to kind of get it a little bit softer blend. And just kind of around the focal point there. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just very lightly. Kind of feather it in there. Yeah. It gives it a mystical vibe there. Yeah. There we go. Oh. All right, I'm going to let that dry and I will come back. All right, my background is all dry. I think it came out really well. I really like the shading and kind of the magic, mystical look to it. So next, we're going to brush on and blend the colors that you would find in a forest or landscape, such as browns, greens, such as raw sienna, cad red. Actually, I didn't put down any cad red, sap green, and burnt umber. So let me get some cad red on there. There we go. And I always spritz my acrylic paints. I live in Arizona, so they dry out very quickly. Spritzing helps quite a bit. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to start blending and brushing on the paints and kind of mixing them around. Okay, I'm going to let that dry and we will continue. Okay, I have let that layer dry. Now, what I'm going to be working on is the moon. And I've drawn a circle with my template here. I've got a circle template. There you go. And I will be starting with Venetian, Venetian rose and a folk art. There you go. And this is called Moon Yellow. And also some unbleached titanium white. So we will start with that. I'm going to start with some of the pink on top. This is not a traditional moon. This is more of an abstract moon. All right, we're going to let that dry and then finish up. Now, while our moon is drying, it's pretty well dry now. I kind of used the hair dryer on it. I'm going to use my circle template here as a stencil. So this is going to represent my representation of fireflies. So let's see how this comes out. I'm going to use this brush here. It's stiff, and I'm going to use it doing a dry brush. So we will, oh, the other thing is, these are the colors that I'm using. One is a color shift, it's a metallic. This is another metallic. You can use whatever you have in your stash. And I'm going to be using, again, the moon yellow. See how this comes out. I'm going to dip a little bit. All right, we'll get started. Ooh, all right. Now I'm going to be using the color shift. Cleaned off my brush. Now my little orbs should be dry. I'm going to start with the yellow, my moon yellow. Okay, sit down here. Over here. All right, that is done. Now I'm going to finish up the moon. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put little tiny points. Let's see, little dots. Find a really small brush for my dots. It's going to be for my fireflies. There we go. All right, so what I've started to do is kind of mark in the tree with chalk. It's really good to use, especially when it's dark like this, to use chalk on acrylics, because if you make a mistake, it'll just wipe right off. So if you want to change something. So this kind of gives you just kind of an outline of where you want your tree to be. Your tree can be anywhere you want it to be. So I use chalk quite a bit, especially when it's in a dark surface. And you can also use pastel, like if it's a light area, you could use a little bit of just very lightly black. I'm sure there's black chalk. I've never tried that, but you could also use a black pastel to kind of outline where your tree or limb or house or anything that you want to just kind of go over lightly. So I will, let's see. And what I'm going to be using for the tree, get this out, is I'm going to use the acrylic marker. This is, of course, black. And I'm also going to be using, for the finer parts here, let's see. Oop, see that? It's a Winsor Newton. Okay. So we'll go with that. Okay. So last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of, with a little damp paper towel, I'm going to just touch up where the chalk lines were. It's very easy. Don't need to rub hard. Oh. And there you have it. Bring this up a little bit. So this is my circle composition. The way the tree has the eye follow to the moon. Actually, it looks very, like you can really see the depth to the moon, and this light area here really brings the eye in. So, well, thank you for joining me. I hope you have fun with your project. I will see you later. Take care. Thank you for joining me too.